Alright, we got paired again. Prysac. Well, somehow his circle is... Okay, now he's there. E4. So, what is our agenda today? Well, C5. And instantly, it gets side-railed. We got the wing gambit. Well, usually I just take the wing gambits, but that's... I don't know what p6 is. I don't even know if it's a move, but the point, of course, is that white sacks a pawn. And well, sometimes he sacks another pawn. No, well, that's not really a pawn sack, but gets the pieces out to via a3. But main point is to get our c pawn away, and then they have a ability to make a pretty good big center. So that's of course keeping their pawn. And I guess their hope is that I would still take here. Oh, Now I'm not ready to the fianchetto in time though. But I guess if I don't play this, then I am sacking a pawn. But against the a3 b4, the Mengarini, usually the fianchetto is the best way to deal with it. But now this is getting here freely and I'm not there in time. So let's bother white a little bit and ask questions. And now maybe, just maybe, we could now fianchetto since they played the knight there. And then I am ready to meet the bishop b2 with the bishop g7. Kind of like a double fianchetto system here. What can you do? So bishop c4 hits there. I don't think there is anything super horrible happening here. Like this we can deal with easily. Knight can't really move here, or the bishop, because we'll just chop and the knight is pinned to the rook. I mean, this of course is normal, but then the knight is gonna be pinned to the bishop. If the rook goes here, then I don't know, maybe we can then chop and at least we didn't open the a file for them. Of course they would still have their central majority there, but on the other hand the c3 is not so easy to play. So that would happen if I took here. I mean, eventually he will get there. I mean, of course, chop he is threatening instantly to play d4. We could go harass it with the knight c6. Also, now that I think about life, we could at this moment say chop and chop. I did something similar in the last game. And to be honest, it had no reason of working. It worked decently there, but my opponent would have played better, probably not. And this bishop is important, because my king is gonna go there and it is the guardian. Already weakened the king side with this, so it is probably a bait of sorts. On the other hand, what is this structure? And that is a free pawn. I am tempted, very tempted. Well, you know the old saying, right? They also probably are threatening to take here and hit my bishop, right? We could also take here first, right? And then take here, give him this structure, and then there is no pressure in the end. here. Of course, if my bishop was here, there would be no pressure here anyways. But maybe. Chop, 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 chop. Bishop is open to come anywhere. This is here. If I take here, they cannot go here in between. So we just drop the bishop back here and guard the mate, and there is no e5s because of ping. It would be too risky anyways, and well, I'll do it. Well, at least this far. Do we have guts to do it? Oh, you. My God, it took me ages to see it, and now I see it. What's the refutation? Instant refutation. What has happened? We lost the dark swap. Of course, we are on their rook here, but I don't think I can let him take here because this looks like dead around here. Well, luckily this did not. I mean, it did cost me my center. That is true. But at least I saw this stupid thing in advance. There is a queen fork here. Oh, damn it. Let's jump there. Stop d4. Expecting knight f3. Introducing d4. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, he was threatening to take here, so in hindsight it was not a big thing. Sometimes I'm very blind. Sometimes I'm very blind. I assume this is coming here. We could say something about that. In the sense that if d4 I'll take and take here. Of course there's all kind of cooking here in between. And also, do we have to be worried about this in general? Takes, knight check, queen f3s. Of course I could just maybe stick the knight there. That is probably legal, right? Let's do it. Why not? If takes, guess he could drop the rook knight back here, trying to get this in, but of course that undefends this, so he has to do something about that before he can play that, and well, it is what it is. I don't think taking here is gonna make my day. So I wanna get this somewhere. But at the moment this is probably a big boo-boo. So I'm not sure I wanna play it here, because that weakens my dark square, so probably takes knight b5 and hits my bishop, and mainly he's going to go here and fork my stinking bishop and the king. We could drop back here and cover it and maybe survive. So I might be able to get away with this bishop here. Anything could happen, d4, f4, we drop the bishop back somewhere. And maybe we are happy with some kind of a battery here and there. But they are weak. But how are we getting this out anyways? Otherwise. Could start with this. See where this goes. Not sure I gain much out of that. Queen c7, pretty much the same deal. I could do d6 in a way that we have this squares covered already with the queen. The idea to put the knight here and there, but this is not well played or well thought out game, for sure. Does the rook want to be here? Of course, it also would love to maybe be supporting the pawn running through, but that's probably a little too early anyways in this phase of the game. So I'll allocate the bishop, and maybe we could have something on c2 one day. Maybe. Why there though? Why there? My friend, why there? You really want the doubled b-pawn. Why would you give me the light squared bishop? I understand he gets his idea if I take the d4 eventually, probably. But oh my god. Okay. I might or might not have missed that the rook was on b file. But still, light squared bishop is something, but I don't know. I should just resign at this moment because I see nothing. Like how did I think that that's the only legal move? Ay, ay, ay. What can I say other than ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna go here now. Hit this guy. If he goes there, we go here. I have the bishop pair. They have a lot of freaking central pawns. I'm not scared of this. I'm just gonna castle while I can. The idea that here, I have a square. What are we gonna do next? So our pawn structure is beautiful. It's just a little backwards in general that consider that white could soon have like a bit of a pawn wall there. All right. Opponent says no. He's making this very vulnerable, but I don't think I can distract the rook too much, can I? So it's probably fine. I don't think I have any funny business sacking the knight somewhere, or this doesn't seem a very useful jump. Basically, the idea is to open up here, but I'll give up. I'll play some kind of a semi-useful move, d6. I was thinking d5 too, but I don't want to block this voluntarily. Just thinking side steps here, and maybe he has time to play e5, d4, and make this bad. Also gonna make this bad. I feel like I have a... Well, I guess that is fine. The rook is getting a bit jumped here, but I guess it has a square here and it's fine. I guess it's fine. Well, I'm going to say something about the c-pawn being backwards there, not threatening anything. I see there is this kind of stuff here. I'll chop there though. That can't be good for white. I mean, maybe it is, but doubt. But of course, this is not really threatening anything either. I am okay. That is logical. Defends the pawn. Maybe the knight is coming here now. Could play a6. Now that he put this, I didn't want to play a6 earlier because the bishop was potentially coming here, and I thought a little vulnerable. But now it's on this side, and like maybe I can get away with this. Just mainly saying no, don't go there. Not sure I wanna play b5. Because I kinda wanna keep the a5 option open for future when we wanna have a passed pawn running fast. Not sure it's gonna ever happen. I mean, I feel like I still could have something cooking here. It's not easy to imagine how this would open up. We'd have a knight there, and this would line up here, and this would line up here. There's definitely potential for tactics here, but don't think or see anything yet. White's position looks very loose. Well, at this side looks pretty compact or pretty beautiful, but this side looks a bit loosey-goosey. It is not maybe because, but you never know. All right, so opens up this one. Maybe planning to play that one. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now I want to play d4, 5. This is still possible. Knight here. This is hit by 3, defended by 3. And I guess my bishop is blocked by the pawn here. I don't know about it. Like I said, I don't want to play this move. So let's play this move. Just to stop this move. Sad noises. Hope this is not gonna be a big problem, and now I have no passed pawn. But we'll see. All right, I did not see that. I did not see that. I'm gonna go here because I don't know. I saw that there's maybe something cooking there, so. But of course, there's also potential to be cooked here, maybe. It's not a big deal. It's just a threat, but it is just a threat of sorts. There is maybe. Is there a potential for this now that the bishop is undefended? Point is takes here, takes here. Bishop is hanging, and I can get away with the knight check here. Cross gives away my bishop. But here, c3. It's my bishop. And at least take there, and then somehow here, and we should be fine. Of course, the downside, of course, is that if they retreat, just retreat, I gave a dark squares in front of my king completely. But on the other hand, pawn is a freaking pawn. We love pawns around here. We love him. Maybe I can play something sad like f6 and say, no, you're out of here. But it's good to remember, even though that was not the greatest pin in the world, that pins that are not absolute, like to a king, absolute pin would be unbreakable. But what I was gonna say, that pins are also discoveries. And pinner should be always careful. I'm not gonna even pretend to think that. Now we are here. They can take here. But I am expecting them to But if they retreat, then it's gonna be, whose bishop is gonna be better? Mine is gonna be devastatingly good, right? I'm faster here to exploit, so I don't think I can even escape here. Just has to take back, and then we'll pop a free pawn here and be happy. And then the bishop is still gonna be great, so whoop-de-doo-doo-doo, I say. Whoop-de-doo. They have a check here. We drop back. No worries. Yeah, my arrows or my circles are not very visible on the blue part. I mean, that blocks my file or diagonal. It sucks a little bit. But I don't want to take. I'll introduce a threat. I'll introduce a threat. Bang. I understand that check is somewhat dangerous now. Bang. This is undefended. Bang. I was thinking bang. Weird move. But I'll do it. I don't know, maybe I could have done this, but this took care of two things, like the e-pawn here and the check. Of course, it's super dangerous to be here anyways, on this diagonal, but I want to go here. How wrong is that? How wrong is that? Now I kind of want to play f6 anyways, to be honest. Not f5, because knight goes here and this is no longer a thing. Whatever. I don't know, maybe he should play f. But then he opens this up again. It's not so clear. He did just play f3, so f4 is not there. It feels like they should be opening this up, but it's also opening this up. Not so easy. Well, yeah, sometimes I was planning to go here, but it's a flawed plan. Knight jumps here, blunks everything, and threatens all kind of horrible things, so this is a bad move. And maybe if this is a bad move, then this was probably a bad move. Or this entire thing. Kind of hoped I could get the knight somewhere about the way and maybe go here, offer some trades or something. Well, I guess I can drop the queen back and threaten to take with the bishop, but now the bishop is not even that great. I'll just do it. It's what I mean, I guess it still defends, that's idiot. Okay, question. Why did you drop back here and not take a check? Are you stupid? That's a tempo, idiot. Yikes. And the problem is that now if I take a6 is gonna be a backwards pawn I have to nurse forever. a6, nurse. I mean, this looks like a free pawn. I'm gonna attempt to just take it and say. I mean, I understand my king is not gonna be safe forever, ever and again, but I hate this move. I hate this move. But, well, let's start at least this. Think about this a little more. How do you take it back? So I'm assuming, and we know what's wrong with assuming things, that if I take backwards pawn, stuff here, maybe stuff here, I don't know, maybe it's not worth the money. Maybe f5. This still seems solid enough. d4s, we can maybe pin. How dumb would you be to push the pawn in front of this kind of a diagonal? Oh, my pawn is now hanging too. Let's try to remember that. I did not... Yikes. Yikes, yikes. The queen is so sidelined here. So sad. Can I somehow get away with a5 here? Okay, I'm gonna say yes. Point is, we win it back maybe and activate the rook. Or the queen. Or somebody, who knows. So what's up with the lighting today? I'm so bright. I think my monitor just decided that night mode is not activated anymore. Even though it is, but it's looking really bright. And that's why it's lighting my face really light. Sometimes it just randomly decides that, no, we're not doing night mode anymore. So I don't know where the queen is cooking, somewhere around this part of town. Or is there any kind of like world where they could sack here just to get the queen behind my stinking king and then do some damage around these parts of town? Well, maybe I could take here with the queen. But I don't know. I'll take with the rook. That looks a bit scary though. And now we have to be super hyper careful. Like super hyper careful. A queen's here might run into some kind of h6 and I guess I could still save my queen here. But at the moment this is also hanging, so things are bad all over. So I think I'll just go here. Support queen. I want to go here, kind of like looking at this, that, and that. Offer a trade. They will probably refuse. I mean, if they know what's good for them. And I saw there's checks, all kind of checks available, but did not see a follow-up after king h2. It is like I'm up a pawn, but my king is wide open, so I would not be surprised that computer would say like this is, I mean, white might be even better, but I would guess more in equal territory. Just because of the king's safety issues. I don't know if I somehow could manage to put this here. He says no, and I could throw in f5. Then we would almost start to threaten checks and checks here. Wow, I've been thinking here that he moved, which he did not. Or like I was thinking here that he's thinking. And my thinking clock was running. Well, this was a super obvious move. It was coming to... Oh. Oh, I see, I see. Point is, now it's working. The tactics work. Wow. Can't take. I mean, this looks also miserable. Oh no. I'll take here, whatever, man. I guess he's gonna take here and then there. Yeah, and then I'm gonna left with only bad pawns. I should have probably taken and went for this. Well, I think I have to go for the c pawn here. I mean, I was so careful with this tactic, but I still run into it. I should have just taken earlier. Yikes. I mean, maybe here, but if here, I'll take this one. I can't leave him with two connected passers. If he goes there, at least I can then defend mine. he can have a pawn there, sure. But maybe we can here go for the pawn. He can defend it from the back or here. It's not easy for sure, but I feel like I have chances here. King f2. I don't know, h5. Keep the king cut here. I don't know. We'll try. Here or here. Or here, I think. Well, I'm 100% sure I'm not taking that, touching that guy. I'm kind of pushing him to the behind the passed pawn. What can you do? What can you do? I'll just go here. Hope he pushes. I'm gonna go grab it and then win it if he pushes the pawn forward. Now we're also maybe threatening to check. Chop. So, oh, I guess that's good. Can I go here? I guess if I go here, he's gonna block the check before running. I was thinking here I can check. I mean, of course, even there he could block there. Fine, I'll go and block your pawn. It's safer, probably. And let's say no entries for you. If the rook moves, I'm gonna give a check. All right. Well, denied. So I cannot take check. Takes my rook. Oh, yikes. Let's say no checks. All right, so what does white do here? Probably king e3. He's threatening to go here if I ever move my rook out of here, though, in my last pawn. Which might or might not be bad. Of course, if he's left with these two, then it's bad, but this is not the configuration that draws, at least in, except maybe in some rare occasion, but it has the split pawns, has to be h and f for it to be sometimes equal. Still hard to prove that in a practical game, but these I don't think are usually ones. All right, I have 2 squares to go between. Is that enough? Question there. So that's threat to win, right? That is a threat to win, right? I'm not 100%. I see that if straight up we go there, but all right, I'll see a move here. I'm claiming that that is not winning. I'm not sure, but actually, yeah, I'm claiming that's not winning. I see this, or that king here is winning. He wins this with that. But I'm claiming that I have a chop, h5 in h4 in between before taking this. And we are drawing where's the flank pawn. And if he plays g4, that one I'm not sure about. Okay, he's getting closer there. Does that change the evaluation? Probably does, because he's a little closer here. He might be able to play here, round this pawn around here, and still win by outflanking me. So I mean, that might have been case to begin with. That might have been the case to begin with. Okay, I'll give him this square, I don't know. It's not fun, nonetheless. So my idea is to go here. Or I maybe be able to go here, but then again, this is a problem, so now it definitely is no takes. This should go here, I think. Just get to the far away from me and give me some annoying checks. I mean, I'm probably gonna give him some annoying checks too, maybe. Let's give him one annoying check. Oh, wanna push this. Just thinking of going here, trying this with this, but at least there my king is cut off and it might be drawish, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So here I wanted to just go here and say, give me that. I don't know if he has somehow time to give me that pawn and well, now it's starting to look very drawish. How does he defend this without dropping that? And then if I lose that one, then might as well uninstall and start playing checkers or something. You don't say that. You could easily lose that. You could easily lose that. Except if, oh, yeah. I was gonna say something like here might be even easier, but there is an in-betweener and then taking. That still should be doable. Well, this is definitely not though. This is definitely not. Is there any reality where we could try to play for a win? Cheeky win. I mean, of course not. But if I really... This is cheeky move. Let's do a cheeky move. Or maybe he does something stupid here and loses. Because I like the kings that are cut off. It's not really a threat, but... You can play here or you can play here and it's fine. But one can always goof around. This was of course easy draw. But... This is my only play for a win in this entire game. Okay, so let's give up and take. Whatever. We can beat chicken then. That was tough though. Ay, that was tough. So b6 is an actual move. Actually the second most played move here. Taking of course is principled way. So he played the knight c3, apparently the right move. I thought he's gonna play d3 something. Just defend this and keep the diagonal open. So I played, apparently everybody and their mom has played d6 here and somehow black wins all games. Bishop c4, there. It looks all fine. Chop. Okay, here I was so close of blundering though. Luckily we did not. I guess I could have still saved the day with knight f6. Is this winning? It's completely winning. How? I didn't see this move and then I didn't see... I got so flustered by barely seeing this far that I didn't think about what we could do here. I just looked at like shortly like here looks horrible. Look, checkmate threat, I can't take the rook. I mean the rook's not going anywhere, but it still looks horrible. I mean that's pretty over. That is pretty over. But knight f6. We already won our pawn. You'll have to take here. Defend the bishop, block this. Yikes. Really stupid. So is the bishop takes. What does Mr. Machine do here? Is there a better move for white? Just doesn't do this. Just does bishop knight f3. Or maybe he could do this, right? No. Apparently not enough though. Why not though? Really? We're going to the stupid computer territory. Oh, queen c8. Wait a minute. Why does it say he? Okay, it's just the depth problem, but still. Weird moment to get confused there by computer. Yeah, I don't want to end up in anywhere like this. No way. Let's look at the game. So, even though that would have worked, maybe a bad idea anyways. That I liked, apparently not so great. This was okay. This was weird. Did not see that they take back with the rook because I'm blind. But still, taking the light skirt bishop seemed good. I don't know why they did not drop it back here and kept the bishop. Looked great. It looked great. But I don't know, maybe it's just some kind of bait to free the d4. What do I know? Then they did not play the d4 anyways. I mean, I guess, I don't know what I'm guessing. d6, queen c7, fine. Apparently not so fine. Computer will play b5, but meh. Must fix the pawns like this. Well, unnecessary. You're playing me. I fixed them for you. I wanted to want a c5 happening or c4. Let's see if I do something random. Does white play c4? Apparently maybe, but still plays b5 though. Giving me a protected passed pawn just to play c4 now. Okay, equal. I don't know why would white play it this way though. Looks very weird. Not so good. Fine. Not so good. Yeah, because I had this tactic here. But then we did something stupid somewhere, I suppose. Doesn't hate e5. I was kind of hesitant about this. Probably something safer, right? Like king g8. e5 is the computer stop move with king g8. Just to keep the pawns nice. Nice and solid, but then I have to deal with this eventually anyways. e5 kind of took care of this. Not really well, but also this. And then he wants to go f5 anyways. Not letting this guy go here, not caring about some e6. Even like saying go there, because you're trapped there. But apparently you're not trapped there, but you're somehow trapped here, so this is not dropping with check, so knight can't go here. Like apparently here, can't take it because the queen here, check. But if we go king f7, then I can chop. And this is not a check, so we have played like rook e8. No checks, winning. Hooray. Alright, I didn't want this to get anywhere. No, I didn't really think he was going to jump there, but in general it would be pain there. After f5, I mean. I'd have to look at this. I can't play there. I don't know, this does not seem as solid. I mean, to be honest, this did not seem solid in either, but that looked even weaker. There, bad move. Yeah, probably, I don't know. I did not have registered the fact that he played f3 and that is a check yet. Horrible. Even worse. Computer says no. There's no advantage left anymore. Going there. And now I'm supposed to play something else. Okay, this is fine, I suppose. But queen f7 is not good at all, because you can do the same, right? This was not good at all. So the entire thing is not good at all. There's no way of defending f6. Computer would play f5. Looks insane. Queen c5. Really dumb looking move. And somehow now, if white goes there, black's winning. Like what? Guess we are threatening this. Let's play g6. Check. Goes here. Queen c6, right? Sure. Chop. Chop. Here. No, apparently here. Yeah. You have to be very sure this is gonna work out if you let this kind of things happen to your king. Yikes, but computer does not care. Just play f5, why not? Just play f5, why not? Wreck it all. Like this is exactly like a computer move. Nobody would play this. Nobody. Insane. Oh, yeah. Alright, so queen e7. They found this nice tactic. I'll take there. Probably in hindsight a mistake. I should just taken and I don't know. Can I play rook a6, rook c6? Go that way. I guess you can play here. I'll go here. Okay, chop. Rook here. Probably on this side, right? They win the pawn anyhow. And then we have to defend another pawn endgame, which apparently is equal. But again, probably not a lot of fun. For black at least. White can pretty much play for a safe draw. Or with draw odds. But this is even worse. Well, maybe not, since they did not get the double pawns. Or like a pawn duo here. I mean, of course he can defend here. But then I can defend my e-pawn and run the king here, but then he drops the g-pawn. It's not so easy. On the other hand, I can't even go here without dropping this check, so I don't know, maybe he could try to get somewhere around there, play g3, then go harass this. But this is already defended, so he's not really threatening to take and get that pawn duo. Yeah, equal. But I'm on the worst side of equal. Because of course black cannot win this game, unless white does something really stupid, but black can easily lose. Actually, let's go. There are some very funny moments in the end game. For instance, it is. I'm kind of proud of this. That looks like it's losing. And I would think it's losing if I try to get here, right? But I can play h5 here, right? And then I can get under the pawn. And it takes him some effort that he can't really get to the key squares here with this guy while ignoring this, because it's also pretty far advanced, so he has to pay attention. And if he pays attention, then we get to some kind of a easily drawn pawn endgame. So I'm kind of happy with this find here. I can keep the rook here because I really thought this. And if I try something sad here, definitely losing, right? Yep. But if you notice you're losing the pawn anyways, sack it. Give them a flank pawn. Flank pawns suck. They are useless most of the time. I was also slightly worried. Like, so here I can take both ways, right? I don't have to sack it yet. I can go here. And that is probably good. So we don't have to let this guy start running around this way. Because after he played here, I was semi-worried about something like here. No. Like here, here, here. And then this is the winning plan to get around this way and flanking, but here I'm just too close. But after he played king f3, I am still fine, right? I got scared here that he can now go around this way. But then I'm just too close anyways. No worries. Yeah, I don't know. I hallucinated something here that I have to sack the pawn anyways at this moment. Like here I would have to sack. And then he would go, I'll take, and he would go around there. But even here I'm just perfectly fine. But yeah, I don't have enough time to think that through anymore. But yeah, we could have kept the fortress of sorts. Yeah, just here. And how does white make progress? If he moves the rook somewhere off there, I'm gonna give a check, snap that. I mean, we have to be a little careful they don't somehow win this and get the king cut off with some kind of rook move, but apparently I can do almost anything here, and it's all fine. But here I was pretty sure this is already an easy draw. I mean, I did believe all the time that this was equal endgame, but it's also very easy to throw this away. Of course, I should go here and just take the last pawn, but I don't know. I saw that there's no way he can hold on to the pawn, so this was like a positive value in betweener. Maybe he does something stupid here. To be honest, there is two stupid moves he could do, and neither one is probably that makes that much sense, so whatever. Like going here is not gonna do anything. Yeah, but we can safely trade the rooks and still get our draw. Anyhow, that was well, it was a game. I played one inaccuracy in entire game. A6. Alright, computer. Alright, that's not true. My opponent played 4. He played this, that, wing gambit, inaccuracy, and that. Fine. 95% versus 95. What you can do? Thanks for watching, and ciao.